Hey, hello friends, Dale here, Three Generations, welcome. Today's video is going to be about Half Moon K. Well, I think they actually want you to say Key, but anyhow, I know that Florida, it's the Keys. This is spelled C-A-Y, but I think they want you to pronounce it Key instead of K. So I've been saying it wrong for a long time, whatever. We all know where it is and what it is. Well, where is Half Moon Key? It's in the Bahamas, and it's about, I don't know, 70, 80 miles south and maybe a little bit west of Nassau, a port that we've been to at least twice now. We weren't there this time. We went to Half Moon Key. Boy, oh boy, I'm going to get in trouble with all the pronunciation gods out there. So sorry if you're a pronunciation god. But anyhow, so it's a private island. It is owned by Carnival, although I think Holland America had owned it at one point. It is a tender only private island paradise. Actually, it is a highlight for many cruisers. Now, I wouldn't have thought of it as a highlight for myself personally, but a lot of cruisers actually prefer this island and think it's one of the best for an island day, for a beach day. It is beautiful, that's for sure. It So anyhow, Carnival purchased this apparently somewhere in the last while. They were planning on upgrading it, but COVID came. So when we got there, as we were pulling in that morning, we had been at sea for 2 days, leaving from Norfolk. As we are pulling in, oftentimes you arrive at night, you don't really see the island or the place you're pulling into. This particular case, we were pulling in after the sun came up, and I could see there was a bunch of construction on the end and looked like they were building a dock. And preparing for this video, I checked up on that, and they actually they are actually making a dry dock so that Carnival ships can just pull up, and it doesn't take so long to disembark onto that island. Now it's a tender situation, and you end up, let's see, I think we chose a time that we were going to get off. No, we did not. We decided we would wait, and once all the scheduled people were done, then anybody else could go. So I think it was around, I don't know, 10:30 that we actually took the tender to the island. 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes at max. It was a beautiful, incredible, scenic ride over. We arrived there. There is some commercialization to this island, not a ton, like some places we've gone, but this is an uninhabited island. Only a few Carnival or Holland America, whatever, whoever gives them their pay, live there for periods of time, maybe a few months to maybe a half a year. I don't know, I'm making that amount up. But they live and then they work there, so they are there when the ships come. Fortunately for us, on this particular day, there was only one ship. So that means it's not near as crowded. By the time we arrived, and there were a few signs, and a few things told you where you could go to get stuff. I was ready for food, so we followed the sign for food, and they have, I think every ship that lands there, they have what I think they were calling a cookout. Now, in my mind, it wasn't a cookout because I think all the food was prepped, I think, on boat and brought on shore, but I could be wrong. I could be proved wrong. I'm okay with being wrong on that. And but it was really good food, picnic style food. It was well organized. It was no long lines. They have that salad they also have a salad bar, but that whole bar of food is open for 2 hours. And so when we arrived there was no line. We just basically went right on in. There's plenty of pavilions and picnic tables and all kinds of stuff to eat. Now I can imagine if there were 2 ships there, that might have been a little crowded. But we ate. We enjoyed meeting some new people that were on the boat that we hadn't seen before while we were eating. Once we were done eating, then we went to the beach. I am not a beach person. Haven't been. I could care less about swimming. But Kendra enjoys the beach. So I agreed to go with her. We arrived at the beach, and a couple were leaving their lawn chairs and their umbrella. Now, the lawn chairs, there's lots of them. Lots and lots and lots. Unbelievable amounts of lawn chairs or beach chairs, whatever you want to call those things. But they're like a lounging chair. And but if you want an umbrella or a shell, you have to rent those things. And they were leaving, and they had rented the umbrella, and so they said we could just have it, and they didn't care if we took it back when we were done or not, or leave it. Well, when we left, it was time to leave, so we took it back. But anyhow, so we had that. So I made my nest in that lounge chair, and basically said, Kendra, go have fun at the beach in the water, and I will sit here and watch you some, and I'll just enjoy the incredible view with the turquoise sea, clear water. Cloud formations were so cool when they were sailing by slowly, and so it was very idyllic. I took some video, while I was there. I just enjoyed relaxing. And then Kendra came, and she wanted me to go with her out in the water. And I was like, oh, great. That's not my idea of fun. I didn't really want to get wet. Didn't really want to get those pants I cut off that need a belt to hold them up to get wet. But I oblige. And man, I enjoyed it. I absolutely enjoyed it. I had fun. I was probably out there 20-some minutes, 25 minutes, bobbing around in that crystal water. But as you looked out across the sea, all that, the blue sky between all those clouds, really cool looking, awesome. And we bobbed around, bobbing in that sea. And I enjoyed it. But I was done after that amount of time, so I went back up to the lounge chair while Kendra made an acquaintance with a fellow lady from our cruise, and they talked for, I don't know, forever. They were talking as they finished up, as she came back to the chairs. But anyhow, on that island, speaking of sunbathing in a sense, although I was in the shade, and swimming in the ocean, there's all kind of things to do on this island, from horseback riding to fishing, deep sea fishing trips, to big tricycle that you can pedal, those jet skis, I guess that's what they're called. It just goes on and on and on. There's a free tram that runs around the island so you can see the island. There's a lot of to pay kind of excursions that the ship would love to sell you, and could sell you, and does sell to a lot of people. But there is the free things to do, and if you just enjoy swimming and sunbathing, man, you got an incredible place to do that at. There's also a pirate ship. I didn't go in. It's a bar for 2 levels, and then if I had known this, I would have gone there. But the 3rd level has an incredible view out across, apparently, is what I read afterwards. So anyhow, let it be known that you might want to go up there if you want to get some nice photos and video, which I would have liked to done to share with you all. But anyhow, I missed it. Um, so the tender boat is free. I don't know if I had mentioned that earlier. It's a free ride back and forth, and it's a beautiful ride. Um, my only complaint about the whole thing, everything was organized well. The tender boat over, the whole experience on that island was great. It was all incredible until we went to leave. We decided to leave about an hour before the last tender boat, and you have to go through security there. And they, if I remember right, I think they actually had the put it through the X-ray stuff, your whatever you were carrying, to make sure you weren't taking anything on that from that private island that you weren't supposed to be. I don't know what that would have been, but anyhow, as soon as they put you through that, they put you into this holding area, and there was no communication, and there was a door, two different doors out, but we stood there for half an hour and it just kept getting fuller and fuller and fuller. I don't know what was going on. Eventually they opened the one door and it wasn't where the side we had chosen, so we went. So it took us forever to get out and get on a boat. A little organization there would be nice, a little bit of communication so you know where you're supposed to go. But anyhow, that's just this little thing that I would comment about that particular place is that. Now, there was all kind of construction going on the other side of the island from like where we were at. We saw it when we were coming in on the ship. In walking to where the pavilion where all the food was, there was a lot of construction, fencing and stuff, and we could see a lot of construction going on. But my understanding from reading is that will become the dock will be where Carnival docks, and it looks like they'll have a much more commercialized place. Maybe, I don't know, just my guess. The Holland America, from what I understand, they will still tender into Half Moon Cay. Now that island name is changed, and I didn't get that in my head, so I don't remember it. But to me, it looks like Carnival's doing a huge upgrade. If making it more commercial is upgrading, we'll see. The workers, like I had mentioned, there are so many that live there for 3 to 6 months, wherever that is. But then there's a lot of national workers, indigenous people who work there, and they live my understanding, they live on nearby islands and they commute there. So anyhow, that's how they get back and forth, is by commuting in some way or another. Half Moon Cay, my ending remarks would be that for me, what I used to dread, an island day, this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I look forward to going back to private islands maybe now. Maybe I will decide to enjoy the water a little more than what I have in the past. Yes, in looking at our next cruise, we're looking at going out of Galveston. I want to hit Honduras, Belize, and Mexico, and all places that I have traveled to in my professional life. I'd like Kendra to see. I know that won't be the same as going other inland places that aren't quite so commercialized, but I saw one that I forget if it was a 10, 12, 14-day cruise and I don't even remember what time of the year, but I think it's next year. And after a day or two at sea, they go to Half Moon Cay again, this particular one. Then they go on to other places like Jamaica and maybe Mexico and Honduras. And, there's a bunch of them. Like every day it's a new island. and then before they go back to Half Moon Key, which I thought was really interesting. But anyhow, it is a paradise island in many ways, and I sure enjoyed it. So anyhow, thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye.